So this is just a reminder about how to do mixture problems. And again, we're still in the intro idea of mixture problems, but just trying to help you understand how this works before we try to do them working backwards. So what we're doing here is mixing 50 ounces of orange juice that's 20% concentrate with 60 ounces of orange juice that's 40% concentrate. Okay, so we've got a lot of information around here. And the way I like to think of it is this. If I've got the first mixture here, let me kind of outline that in green since I highlighted in green. Okay, I got the first mixture here, and part of that, this 20% of it, is orange juice concentrate, and there's a total of 50 ounces. Okay, that's being mixed with an amount over here that's 60 ounces total. Okay, and 40% of it is concentrate. Okay, so here's the question. How much am I going to have total, and what's the concentration going to be? Well, how much of it I'm going to have is pretty easy. I've got 50 and 60, so I'm going to have 110 ounces. Okay, and then the question is, what's the concentration going to be? Well, what I need to do first is find out how much is in here and how much is in there, and then divide that by the total amount of liquid. So in here, 20% of this 50 ounces, well, let's figure out what 20% is of 50. So 20% of 50, okay, that is going to be 10 ounces. That's just 10 ounces of concentrate. Okay. Over here, 40% of 60, how much is that going to be? Well, 40% of 60, if you calculate that out, is 24. So how much do I have total? Well, I've got 10 right here and 24 there. So I've got 34 ounces total of concentrate out of 110. So what I'll do is figure out what 34 out of 110 is as a decimal, and that'll be my answer. Okay, well, 34 out of 110 is 0.31. Okay, so that's as a decimal, and I want my answer as a percent, so I'll make that 31%. So my answer is how much we answer the question, how much will I have, is 110 ounces, and it'll be 31% concentrate. So how do I explain my answer? Okay, it might be easiest to say, well, tell you what, 50 plus 60 is 110 ounces. Okay, and then I had calculated, let's see here, 10% or 20% of 50 plus 40% of 60. So 20% of 50 plus 40%, 40% of 60, okay, and I calculated that up and ended up with 34. So 34 out of 110 is 31%. Okay. So the other thing I want to do is take you over here to the first assignment that I've given for a question on Google Classroom, and I'm literally going to do the problem for you, except the only thing I can't do is turn it in. So if I click over here, you'll notice here in classwork that DLA 3A, mixture problem number 1. Here's the question. If you mix 20 ounces of orange juice that is 10% concentrate with 60 ounces that is 40% concentrate, how much liquid will you have and what will the concentration be? So I'm going to copy that question straight over here so we can look at it. Okay. So there's the actual question from the assignment. Okay. And I want to make sure I have an explanation there. So let me come over here and I'll type it out. I'll say, well, you know what? 20 ounces plus 60 ounces equals 80 ounces total. Okay, so I've already answered the first question. Okay. The second question, I need to figure out how much is in the first mixture and how much is in the second mixture. And I might draw my diagrams to figure it out. But I'm going to have, I know that the amount of concentrate in the first one is 10% of 20. So I'll type in 10% of 20. Okay, that'll be how much is in the first one. Okay. Plus I'm going to have 40% of 60. Okay. And that's how much is in the second mixture. So let me pause and calculate that. Okay, and that is 26 ounces total. Sorry, maybe I should say, why is that not typing there? 26 ounces, not total, of concentrate. Okay. So to figure out the final concentration, we'll just do 26 out of 80 and figure out what that is as a decimal. 26 out of 80. That's 0.325. Okay. So 32.5% concentrate. Okay. So when it says in the question, be sure and tell me what the, say how you got your work, you could copy this right from the video, write it down, and then type it in for your answer. Okay, so I don't think I can actually type the answer in there for you, but if you click on there and go to the answer blank, you'll be able to just type in exactly what that says there. All right.